After 50 years, the eternal flame, the slow burn of fire, the soldier's helmet, the rifle, the Amar Jawan Jyoti, the forever symbol of our fallen men, is merged with the flame of the National War Memorial. Government sources cite convenience and that it reeked of a colonial hangover. Congress accuses the government of rewriting history. How convenience cannot be bigger than a country's emotion. In midst of the politics, one question remains. After saying never in 2019, after calling it an inseparable part of history, what made the government make the eternal flame U-turn? With it now being merged with the flame at the National War Memorial. What was behind the eternal flame U-turn? Top focus on To The Point this evening. Good evening, viewers. You're watching To The Point. I'm Preeti Chaudhary. After 50 years, the Amar Jawan Jyoti, meaning the eternal flame, at Delhi's India Gate. Many of you who don't quite live in Delhi must have seen the flame burning with any ceremonial procedure that has taken place, felicitation that has taken place where our armed forces are concerned. The Amar Jawan Jyoti that has burnt into the memory space of all Indians as the symbol of our fallen men. Well, the Amar Jawan Jyoti at Delhi's India Gate has now been merged with the flame at the National War Memorial, something which was much needed, something which no other government quite did. In 1972, the Amar Jawan Jyoti was included as part of the India Gate Memorial. It has an inverted bayonet and soldier's helmet with an eternal flame burning. In 2019, the War Memorial was built in memory of soldiers and unsung heroes who've laid down their lives for the nation since independence. It was also decided that the Amar Jawan Jyoti would continue in its place even as a new eternal flame was lit at the new War Memorial. So what has made the government change its mind from 2019 to now? Why is it that both the flames have been merged? Someone who reported on the story in 2019 and was there at India Gate today as the flames got merged is my colleague Abhishek Bhalla. He's joining me live to give us a perspective on Abhishek. You know, you've been tracking the Defence Ministry. Till now, there is no official statement either from the Ministry of Defence or from the government on why, while in 2019, we're going to put out those graphics there, that the Ministry of Defence, the government had come out and stated that the Amar Jawan Jyoti is inseparable to India's history. It will keep burning while a new flame would be lit at the War Memorial. What has made the government change its mind? What are the reasons that you're picking up from the government? Because no official statement has been made yet.
Preeti, over the last few years, in fact, this was happening and the two flames coexisted. Even as the new War Memorial, which was much needed, replaced India Gate when it came to ceremonials, when it came to foreign dignitaries paying homages when they visited India, the Prime Minister paying homage during Republic Day. So for all practical purposes, yes, there was a change as far as the ceremonials were concerned, but, the two flames coexisted together. And that's exactly what was decided in 2019 when the new War Memorial was, in fact, inaugurated. There were senior military officers on record who said that it's an inseparable part of history. Even though the government has not come out clearly citing the reasons for this shift, sources have been speaking about the reason. And, one of the main reasons being that now that National War Memorial is the one-stop place for all ceremonials, it's only natural to have just one Amar Jawan Jyoti. But the question remains, why was it coexisting for the last 3 years? So what has changed in these last 3 years? That's something that the government has not given a clear answer on. Another thing which the government has not spoken about, but somewhere this narrative has slipped in, Preeti, that the Amar Jawan Jyoti, in fact, was a temporary arrangement. Now, I don't know from where is this coming. A lot of military veterans have also, said this, that this was a temporary arrangement. well, if it was a temporary arrangement, well, 50 years is a bit too much for a temporary arrangement. But we would not like to get into the political bickering that's going on, because that's likely to continue. But yes, I think the government should once and for all give a clear reason, a clarification, so that all the controversy can end on what was the need to have the Amar Jawan Jyoti merge with the new one, and in effect, extinguish or douse the original one, which has been there since 1972. And this is at a time when India had been celebrating 50 years of the war with Pakistan and the liberation of Bangladesh.
Appreciate you joining us, Abhishek, with that perspective. And that's a question which I'm going to take to our BJP spokesperson. Charu Pragya joins me from the BJP. Tehseen Poonawalla joins me in the capacity of a political analyst. Charu Pragya, constantly since the morning, it's been said that the flame is not being doused, but is being merged. But the fact is, once the flame is merged, the original site of the Amar Jawan Jyoti has been doused. It no longer exists. The question I want to ask you is, because there's less clarity on that, in 2019, Charu Pragya, the Ministry of Defence and the government then had made an official statement saying, while a flame was lit at the war memorial, the National War Memorial, the Amar Jawan Jyoti's flame will continue to burn forever, as it was integral to India's history, inseparable from it. What changed in the last 3 years that today the flames were merged?
Preeti, the flames have been merged to pay homage to all the brave martyrs of Mother India, and including the martyrs for whom the Amar Jawan Jyoti was lit first in 1971. After the war, Amar Jawan Jyoti was lit by then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi ji, and then now these names have also been inscribed at the National War Memorial. So this war memorial, it's truly paying homage to all the sacrifices Indian soldiers have made, unlike the India Gate, because India Gate lists the name of soldiers who died for the Britishers in the First World War, and after that in the Anglo-Afghan War. It had nothing to do with any war that India fought as a country herself. I think this is a great step moving forward, and our National War Memorial is becoming that one-stop shop for people who want to go and pay their respects to those who lost their lives for the motherland. See, today Congress is opposing it. I want to ask them, have they once gone there in the last 3 years, to pay homage to the soldiers who have died, even in the last couple of years? Not once. I want to ask them, they are the same political party which wants proof every time our brave soldiers go and attack our enemies and come back victorious. They are the same political party who had nothing positive whatsoever to say about anything that goes on at the border. Just these hearsay kind of messages which are passed on from some Chinese media is being tweeted by Rahul Gandhi. And today he's facing question, and I'm questioning his patriotism today.
All right, Charu, before I go to Tehseen, and Tehseen, allow me just one more question there, is, for many, it's not just the Congress, there is right now a discourse, and there are, two sides of the argument, equally, equal arguments on both sides, equally compelling arguments on both sides. I also want to ask you, what was the reason as to why both flames couldn't keep burning? Because that was the decision which was made in 2019. Both could have burnt.
So, Preeti, it's being said that what flame that burned at India Gate was a symbol of our colonial past. As I said, it signified the British. The British made India Gate. It's the names inscribed there are of British soldiers. Maybe they were Indians, but they were serving in the British Army. Today, we are our own country. We have our own proud heritage. We have our own history. And I think it is a better idea to keep it all together. And Amar Jawan Jyoti lives on. It is there right now, even at the eternal flame.
All right, okay. But for many who always envisioned it, it might not be so. But like I said, there are two sides and both compelling. I want to cut across to Tehseen Poonawalla, and I want to take what Charu Pragya encapsulated there. Tehseen Poonawalla, the sheer fact that it is convenient that one flame burns for all ceremonial procedures which take place. Everything happens at the National War Memorial. So why have two of these fires burning? And ultimately, it's a colonial hangover where India Gate was. That is what the BJP says.
At the onset, I just want to put a point across that my family is extremely upset. My father-in-law took part in the 1971 India-Pakistan war. and as an Air Force pilot, he bombed the city in which his mother was born. So he was very upset. My family was very upset. Several of his colleagues who were martyrs, he would go there to pay tribute. And he certainly did not see the flame as a colonial hangover. Those are the flames burning for our soldiers who were martyred in the 1971 war. And there's 50 years of that war that we're celebrating right now, where the Prime Minister Narendra Modi has extinguished the flame. He has money to buy himself a new bungalow, to buy himself luxury Maybachs, and to buy himself new planes, but he can't maintain two flames. Look, Preeti, the Commonwealth Graves Commission maintains graves all across the world. They don't say, let's get soil from everywhere and make a common grave. They maintain it from all across the world. And if the India Gate is a colonial hangover, why are we putting Subhash Chandra Bose's statue there? Mahatma Gandhi served in World War I. He served the British Army in World War I along with Kasturba. My grandfather, my paternal grandfather, served Mahatma Gandhi and Kasturba, and Mahatma Gandhi had served in World War I. So who are making these arguments? The RSS and BJP, and I have to quote this because it's the 50 years of the 1971 war, and Golwalkar says in Bunch of Thoughts, page 283 for your viewers to see. People who attain martyrdom have some shortage in their life and are not complete people. Golwalkar says this. So they come from a mindset where they've never sacrificed for this country. They've never given anything for this country, so they don't understand the value of martyrdom.
All right. Tehseen, when I go back, Charu, allow me, I'm going to take the other question that you posed to Tehseen, and I'll come right back to you. Tehseen, Charu also posed a question which many are right now posing, especially on social media where the narrative is rife, is when you talk about the colonial hangover, not to the, not to what Lutyens Delhi looks like or not what the area looks like, but the very fact that inscribed on the India Gate are the names of those who fought for the British and not for India. In 1971, even as Indira Gandhi had lit the flame, it was said this was a temporary structure.
Have we dismantled all those regiments that existed during World War I, World War II? Do those regiments not have a glorious history? Do those regiments at regimental level, and I pose this question hypothetically to you, Preeti, because I know that you understand the armed forces. I know Charu does. I have a lot of respect for Charu. Do those regiments not celebrate their victories? Are we now going to disown our own regiments? The Maratha regiment, the Sikh regiment, the Jat regiment. I mean, this is a country of regiments that have conquered so much and have so much history that have contributed to the world. And we are going to see this from a narrow prism of politics that the BJP is shamelessly indulging in. Preeti, I just want an answer to one question. In 2019, when the National War Memorial was built, and salute the present government for building it, didn't they promise us, the citizens of India, that both flames would be alive? Has the government told us why did they douse this flame? Tell me a reason why both flames cannot keep on burning.
Okay.
As I've given you an example of the Commonwealth Graves Commission, as graves across the world could be maintained. This is a few meters apart from each other.
All right, okay. Charu, I'll come back to you, and, I'll take the question what Tehseen is asking, which is being echoed. Like I said, there are 2 points, to this argument. And what is being said a lot is, yes, our men, thousands of them, who had fought for the British were still our men. It's our names that are inscribed there. The fire has been burning, and I'm sure, before it was doused today, because it has been doused, it might have been merged. The eternal flame might live on right now in the National War Memorial, but the site of it is doused. The very sheer fact, inscribed in every Indian's memory is that flame burning, it's that helmet, soldier's helmet, and the inverted bayonet. All of that imagery for people who can't visit the National War, Memorial is taken away because that's what they've always believed in. That's what, our soldiers stood for, our fallen men.
So, Preeti, I'm asking a very practical question. 26 Jan, our Republic Day is around the corner, just a few more days to go. Where will the salami happen now? Is it going to happen at India Gate, or do we also pay homage to all the soldiers lost who have their names inscribed at the National War Memorial? So it's also a matter of practicality. While I am very proud and very sad to hear that Tehseen's family was one of those who made the sacrifices in the 1971 war, but at the end of the day, your father-in-law's name is now inscribed where the flame is burning, Tehseen. Shouldn't that make you happier? Because his name is where the new Amar Jawan Jyoti is.
Charu Pragya, I'll ask you that second, that's the question that we began the show with as well. It's all right, all ceremonial functions can take place, and they should, at the National War Memorial, which is great. Why not let both the flames burn? Because, you know, what you're inviting is criticism, which seems to suggest you want to rewrite history, you want to take away the legacy established by Indira Gandhi because she had lit the flame.
No, I think, Preeti, too much is being said about this entire politicization of a very practical and a very good decision. I will also repeat my question. Why haven't any members of the Gandhi family, if they are such major patriots and if they are so concerned about the lives lost for our motherland, have gone and paid a visit to the National War Memorial even once? Why is it that even today Rahul Gandhi is echoing what the Chinese press is saying about Indian borders rather than trusting our generals and our government about what is going on that border itself? So, all of these things make me question their patriotism again, and they make me wonder why everything becomes a question of politics for them. Even something like this, our armed forces are in tandem, our government is in tandem, all the citizens are hailing this decision, and those who are saying that the Jyoti is being extinguished today, they need to be told the truth that no, it's not being extinguished, it's being carried to a new location. Let's say that.
All right, okay, Tehseen Poonawalla, practicality demands that there is one flame for our men, and whoever was honoured before this would be continued to be honoured in the War Memorial.
Before that, Charu said that Rahul Gandhi is echoing the Chinese line. I don't want to make this a debate about China and the intrusion, but Tapir Gav is a BJP MP, and he said that in 2018, China has intruded into Arunachal Pradesh, made roads, and has kidnapped our citizens. Please fact check me if I'm wrong. It's BJP MPs who are saying that. And if China did not intrude our territory, why did we lose 20 men? Why are 20 men martyred? Is it the BJP's official position that India intruded into China's territory? Let's not go down a slippery slope where you will not win a battle. Your MPs have said it, not Rahul Gandhi. Is your MP a Chinese agent? Let's not get into this. They are martyrs for this country, the Gandhi family. Let's not do this. Look, here's the point. The flame at the Amar Jawan Jyoti was for the 71 martyrs. People like my father-in-law who are alive today, they've not passed away, would go there to spend time to remember their colleagues. For them, there was an emotional connect. That flame was erected in their memory. How can you douse it just because you want to have a ceremony somewhere else? You please have your ceremony at the National War Memorial.
Fair point. Because for a lot of people who forget about who are veterans, and there are veterans who are split on this, and I would reckon the split is even keel. But a lot of people, for them, practicality, convenience cannot be gauged where your emotions come into play, no? Charu, practicality, convenience cannot, be weighed with the emotions of an entire country. Everyone has only looked at that when 1971 martyrs were concerned, the Amar Jawan Jyoti.
Yes, but Preeti, those who are going to look for the names of their family members can now go to the National War Memorial and also fold their hands at the Amar Jawan Jyoti there. That's what I'm trying to say. So I am just saying, wouldn't it be easier? I saw these heartwarming pictures of people looking for the names of the family members at the National War Memorial. The eternal flame burns right there. It's so much nicer to be in one place where you can see the name, see the Amar Jawan Jyoti, sit there for some time, pray for some time. I think altogether it just speaks of India's very rich culture and all the sacrifices are so
right. Tehseen, I don't have time, but 10 seconds quickly.
Just one.
Yes.
I know that Charu stayed in Pune when her father served in Pune very brilliantly as a commissioner of Pune. I wish Charu would have come with me then, and I would have shown her the National War Memorial Pune, where all our martyrs' names have been etched. Pune is a national war memorial, Charu, and every regiment has a war memorial. Names are etched. Charu, that cannot be a reason because names are etched to take away a flame of somebody. You cannot take away somebody's flame.
All right. Okay, can I?
Unfair.
Okay. As far as I am aware, the first National War Memorial is right here in Delhi. The others are not national.
Okay, with both your permission, I'm going to bow out of this. I'm going to bow out of this debate. Appreciate you joining us, Tehseen Poonawalla. Thank you, Charu Pragya, of being civil and putting forth your points of views. Let's end on a cliche. The eternal flame for our soldiers should burn in the heart of every Indian. But let's also end with the question: what was so wrong with both the flames burning to honor our martyrs? We leave it for our viewers to decide. A quick break. Up next is Mood of the Nation.